California State University students protested at a Board of Trustees meeting. Find out why.
A deadly attack in London is being treated as an act of terrorism. We'll hear from students there.
And Meals on Wheels got a helping hand from veterans today. Participants tell us why the program matters.
Annenberg TV News is next.
Live from USC, you're watching Annenberg TV News.
Education, not deportation! Education, not deportation!
Students are angry about a tuition increase at California State University. CSU students will have to pay more in tuition for the first time in 6 years. Good evening, I'm Kaylee Heck.
And I'm Eytan Wallace. The Board of Trustees voted for a 5% increase. Annenberg Media's Giovanni Mugias talked to students and the CSU chancellor.
The tuition increase proposal for the 2017-18 academic year is approved as amended.
The Cal State Board of Trustees voted 11-8 to increase tuition by $270 a year, but not without opposition from students.
A lot of people say practice self-care, like take care of yourself. But how if your family comes from poverty and they could barely help you?
The lieutenant governor voted against the hike.
It's predictable, it's frustrating, and I don't know what it is about our inability to break with the pattern.
A pattern that many students say is hurting their grades and academic success.
Right now I'm working about 30 hours a week, taking 6 classes. I don't have a social life, I don't get that much sleep.
Tuition isn't the only thing that a lot of these students are worried about. Oftentimes there are fees that aren't covered by financial aid and vary campus to campus.
A lot of it throughout the years that I've learned goes to our administration, and we don't really see any changes at this campus.
A student at Cal State Long Beach will pay close to $1,000 in fees compared to $3,600 at Cal Poly SLO, and that often comes out of pocket.
Pell Grants and Cal Grants do not cover those campus-based fees.
The $900 a year in fees alone, I still have to pay that out of pocket.
But the CSU chancellor says those fees, including the $270 increase, benefits the students.
It allows us to hire more faculty and offer 3,000 more courses next year to meet the needs of our students. That's the bottom line.
The tuition hike will only go into effect if the CSU system doesn't receive an extra $167 million in funds from the state. That leaves many students on edge, waiting to see how much more they'll need in the year ahead. For Annenberg Media, I'm Giovanni Mugias.
Graduation is just 50 days away, and time is running out to get your custom sashes. That deadline is tomorrow, but it's going to cost you. And as Annenberg Media's Cole Sullivan reports, some seniors are not happy about it.
Conquest will greet seniors this May at graduation, but there's another sound that might be more appropriate.
It's ridiculous. But, I gotta look good for graduation.
And for undergraduates at USC, looking good means paying up.
Just to rent, I think it's $50.
And $50 for a cap and gown isn't the only cost facing seniors at graduation this year. For 25 announcements, that's $70. Another $70 to get a copy of the yearbook. To order a custom sash online, it's $75. It's more if you want additional letters or a logo, which brings my total to well over $250.
I already have so many expenses that I need to think about.
And although the cost for a cap and gown is about the same here as it is at other universities, it's $40 at UCLA and $53 at NYU, seniors say it's still not cheap.
So it's definitely going to be costly.
Seems expensive for a sash.
Plus, every customization on that sash costs more.
It costs for every symbol, every letter especially. The letters is what gets you.
Harris is spending $145 just on her sash.
Although I could just, go with my rental and just a bare sash, I want to, commemorate this moment.
A rather costly commemoration capping off 4 years at USC. For USC Annenberg Media, I'm Cole Sullivan.
Thank you, Cole. 5 people are dead tonight and at least 40 others injured after a terror attack near the British Parliament. Here's what we know so far. British police say 3 of the dead were civilians, 1 was a police officer, and 1 the attacker. Officials say a man deliberately drove into pedestrians and police officers on London's Westminster Bridge near the Parliament buildings. The man then left the vehicle and stabbed a police officer to death. The suspect was shot and killed shortly after. While police believe the unidentified man was the sole attacker, officers remain on high alert.
Throughout the rest of the day, including when people are commuting home, and indeed over the days that follow, the people of London will see extra police officers armed and unarmed on our streets. And of course, as you're aware, we can call on the support of the military should we need to at a future point.
British Prime Minister Theresa May condemned the attack. In a statement, she said, quote, "Our thoughts and prayers go out to all who have been affected." The White House press secretary said the president spoke to the Prime Minister and the White House applauds, quote, "the quick response of British police and first responders." U.S. and UK officials are not the only ones reacting to the terror attacks.
Annenberg Media's international reporter Alicia Wajaja is here with reaction from around the world. Alicia?
Thank you, Eytan and Kaylee. Annenberg Media's Sophie Flay and Jeffrey Dubroff are studying in London this semester. We talked to them today about how people there are reacting.
Here in London, luckily nowhere near the terrorist attack. Today, most USC Annenberg students were in class as it was happening. The terrorist attack happened in a major tourist area, so people are being advised not to go.
I am here in London, obviously away from the Parliament area. No one is allowed in or near that area, as that is where the attack took place. The station near that area has been shut down. But around me, everyone seems to be going along as normal. A little on edge. People are a little worried. People are texting, calling their families, making sure that they're okay and letting them know they are okay as well. But everything seems to be going on fine. The buses are running normally. The tube is running normally.
British students here at USC say they're concerned about the attacks.
I'm kind of concerned that this specific event is going to affect politics in the future of the UK. You know, after something like this happens, it's so traumatizing to the national psyche. I'm scared that this will be weaponized against Muslims in the UK.
It's just scary knowing that people would kill innocent people, pedestrians, in a place that I would call home.
London Mayor Sadiq Khan reassured both residents and visitors after the attack. He said Londoners will never be cowed by terrorism and, as always, will stand together in the face of those who seek to harm them. Eytan and Kaylee, back to you.
Thanks, Alicia. Today was the third and final day of Supreme Court nominee Neil Gorsuch's hearing. Senator Dick Durbin asked Gorsuch about his views on abortion.
Senator, as the book explains, the Supreme Court of the United States has held in Roe versus Wade that a fetus is not a person for purposes of the 14th Amendment. And the book explains that.
Do you accept that?
That's the law of the land. I accept the law of the land, Senator, yes.
Judge Gorsuch will need support from 8 Democrats to reach the 60 votes he needs to be confirmed as a Supreme Court justice. The Senate committee vote is set for early April.
Protesters are once again taking to the streets, this time to promote a bill that would strengthen California's protections for undocumented immigrants.
Annenberg Media's Alex Salvi is outside the Hall of Justice, where the protest has just started.
We're here at Los Angeles Hall, and we're with a group of demonstrators who are standing up, but this time they're not opposing a bill as much as they are supporting a bill now known as SB 54. Now, SB 54 sets a prohibition on federal authorities coming to local municipalities and taking individuals who are in charge of criminal activity or immigration activity as well, and prohibiting them from coming right from that jail. Now, supporters of this bill say that this is a bill that is necessary for immigrants' rights, and opponents to this bill say that this is just going to overextend law enforcement, once again forcing them out into communities where they have to once again find these individuals. Now, one of the biggest opponents to this bill has been Los Angeles County Sheriff Jim McDonnell. Now, Jim McDonnell himself is the son of an immigrant family who moved to the United States from Ireland just 1 year before he was born. So he says he sympathizes with the idea of immigrants and really what they're going through here in the country, but says that this bill doesn't go enough. And he says that to Senate pro tempore Kevin De Leon in his March 9th letter, where he says SB 54 would not allow the safe transfer of custody, rather it would force immigration enforcement agents into our communities. Now, I'm here with a number of protesters, one of which is a USC student who's undocumented. Now, Melody, could you tell me why it is that you're here today?
I'm here in support of immigrant communities and immigrants in California. Specifically, I'm here representing the undocumented student community that exists in a lot of California institutions and especially at USC.
Now, Melody, there's a lot of different people out here, but I see a lot of young people as well. Can you tell me why it's important for young people to be active as well in this group?
I think it's extremely important for young people to be active because we have to stand in the right side of history. We need to make our voices be heard and stand in solidarity with students who just want to make their dreams come true and immigrants who just want to contribute to this city and this great state.
Thank you, Melody. Now, this is going to be a protest going on for the rest of the night, and it's going to be interesting how this goes moving forward since California is not yet a sanctuary city. Back to you guys in the studio.
Alex Salvi reporting live for us in downtown LA. Alex, thanks. President Trump's proposed budget may cut funding to Meals on Wheels. Annenberg Media's Mark Salinger rode along with a volunteer to see how the program affects the people it serves.
At each doorstep he visits,
Hey Linda, Meals on Wheels.
Walt Walston delivers food and a smile.
There's enough hot meals for each person on the list that we get for delivery.
Walston is a volunteer for Meals on Wheels, a nonprofit that receives federal funding to provide food to people who are homebound. Donald Trump's proposed budget would cut the Health and Human Services budget by 18%, which will likely reduce funding to the program.
The budget cuts in Washington would affect this branch of Meals on Wheels greatly. About 30% of the money that we pay for meals is funded by Washington. So that would be a huge hit.
Meals on Wheels of West Los Angeles today received a $20,000 donation from the American Legion, money that will help pay for meals for people like Nicole Gogain.
I have friends that help me occasionally, but they're not around all the time. So it would be very difficult for me to get lunch and dinner on a regular basis.
Walston and a team of volunteers take to the streets of West LA every day, delivering more than 45,000 meals a year.
I get so much gratitude from these people when you do it that it's just very welcoming.
For the recipients of the food, it's a program many couldn't live without.
The food is fabulous and there's a whole bunch of it. And I love the people that bring it to me. They make me feel good. They're like my family.
A family Smith hopes isn't cut by a smaller Washington budget. For USC Annenberg Media, I'm Mark Salinger.
LAX is about to go through some major changes. We'll show you what's going on.
And take a look at the upside of all of this rain. A rare and beautiful spring show just ahead.
USC's game design program got a nod from the Princeton Review again. Find out more about the program's continued success.
So good to see you guys. So, what's up? Oh, we finally bought a place. Holy cow.
You seriously have enough saved to do that?
We've been putting a little aside each month.
Jeez, by the end of the month, we have nothing left to save.
Yeah, I have no idea where it goes.
Well, you're spending a lot on...
Is
it good?
Oh, God.
Oh, how is my account overdrawn?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
That's low, that's low. That's low.
Look, he's blushing.
What do you think it would be like to teach? Chances are, you have no idea. Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, proving that greatness can be found in everyday places, and that you don't need to be famous to be unforgettable. That's what it's like to teach.
Once again, USC's game design program was named the best in the country. The secret to the program's success, building games from scratch and no exams. $100 billion industry.
So here is a starting point.
That students want to be a part of.
Shoot with the joystick on the right.
The Princeton Review has ranked the USC undergraduate game design program #1 for 7 out of the past 8 years.
But I already know that we're #1 in the hearts of the hiring people in the game industry.
And that's what attracts so many students to this program. USC is training the next generation of game designers.
Seeing their games just makes me feel like a lot of these games could be potentially a #1 in the App Store.
Students turn out professional quality games while still in the classroom at the Game Pipe Laboratory.
And we have a large number of people who will come and say, oh, these are great games. Where do we hire your students? And we'll say, well, you know what? 99% of them already have a job on graduation day.
Director Michael Zaida founded the program in 2005, back when the industry was just starting to grow.
12 years ago, the game industry, in terms of revenue, was the same size as the film industry. Today, the game industry is 3 times larger in terms of revenue than the film industry.
You can see our guy.
In the last 10 years, about 2,000 have gone through game design classes at this lab.
You can only see things within the area.
While trying to figure out the next trends the gaming industry will go towards, like virtual reality, giving USC students the hands-on experience they need to succeed.
We are producing students who could directly work in industry on the day they graduated, if not sooner.
The USC Games program is a collaboration between the Viterbi School of Engineering and the School of Cinematic Arts. Zaida says he hopes at some point the university will make an official School of Games. Now, Eytan, we're only a couple days into spring, but it's been pretty gloomy so far.
It really has, and will it continue? Madeline Otterly has all our answers. Madeline.
Good evening, everyone. We've got a chance of rain and thunderstorms all evening tonight. Outside, the current temperature right now is hovering around 64 degrees, so a little bit on that chilly side. Tomorrow, we see similar temperatures as well, but that sun will be shining all day long. In the mountains, Big Bear is going to be right around 26 degrees, pretty chilly with pretty high winds up there on the slopes, so be extra careful if you head up. Down at the coast, it is sunny as well, but still pretty cold for a beach day. Malibu 52, Thousand Oaks 41. We'll take it home to our USC region now. We should expect temperatures around 52 degrees. Keep that jacket handy. Let's take a look at our week ahead. We've got a chance of rain coming up this weekend, particularly on Saturday. However, temperatures are expected to bump back into those nice 70s next week. And when it does warm up, you don't want to miss the fantastic display of wildflowers popping up across the Southern California region. Earth scientist Professor Richard Minnick says these blooms only happen about 2 or 3 times a decade, and they won't stay for long. In lower elevation, flowers are already past their prime. In higher ground, the bloom might not peak until next month. Our wet winter may have triggered the bloom, but it's really thanks to the drought. One of the best places to spot the bloom is the Anza Borrego Desert, a 4-hour drive south of campus. I'm sold. Let's take a road trip.
Sounds great. That's a great story. Thank you, Madeline. Over to Kaylee.
Heads up if you're planning to fly out of LAX after graduation. 21 airlines will be moving the terminals the week of May 12th to May 16th. This transformation is part of the airport's massive modernization efforts. Officials call it one of the largest terminal moves in the history of commercial aviation.
So Delta is going to have some folks here, and then our volunteer information professionals who are in red, and our GEMs, the guest experience members who are in blue, will both be around. They're around every day to help folks, but they will have maps with them. Actually, our airport police are also going to have a special map to help point everybody in the right direction if folks are asking questions.
Now, just in case you are flying on any of these airlines, Delta, right now, they are in terminals 5 and 6. And if you are flying on them, you're going to have to make your way up to terminals 2 and 3, and then also connect with Tom Bradley International Airport. Now, Air Canada is sitting in Terminal 2 right now, and they're going to make their way down to Terminal 6. If you're flying on Virgin America, you would normally go to Terminal 3, but instead you would also move down to Terminal 6. Spirit Airlines a little less popular, but if you do have a flight with them, it would typically be in Terminal 3, and they are moving on down to 5. But with any airline and any airport, make sure you check with your airline before you show up.
Thank you, Kaylee. Did I see Pete Carroll on campus today? I think I did. Let's toss it over to our sports anchor, Julia Adams, with more. Julia.
Thanks, Eytan. It's USC Pro Day today, and NFL prospects arrived on campus early this morning to show off their skills to scouts. Coming up next, we will highlight some of today's most outstanding performances from the former Trojans. And in other USC sports news, hear from a beach volleyball player about how she plans to continue to help her team remain undefeated.
If you store your guns properly, I'll feel safer when I'm playing outside.
Safer when walking home.
I won't have to tell so many family members. I'm sorry.
I won't hear as many scary stories.
And I won't have to tell my kids. This isn't a drill.
Please.
Please, do it for us.
Your family, friends, and neighbors are all counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. Remember, always, lock it up. Visit ncpc.org.
Yes, I am.
Give it to him hard.
No.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Why you stab me with it? No.
They want to help,
Ow.
but don't know how.
Oh,
Teach your kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
To Maddie, congrats on paying off all those student loans.
Finally, right?
How'd you manage that anyway?
I started tracking my spending, changed a couple of habits.
Wow, I'm kind of living paycheck to paycheck right now. I don't even know how I'm doing it.
Well, have you tried saving a little?
I want to, but where's that money gonna come from? Bill collectors, they're the worst. Am I right?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
Not home.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Welcome back to ATVN. Nearly 20 NFL prospects had another chance to impress scouts in combine-style drills during Pro Day on campus today. Sports correspondent Angel Vizcarra has some sights and sounds from today's action.
Thanks, Julia. Scouts from across the NFL flocked to Cromwell Field today to take a look at USC's top prospects entering the draft. And with the draft just over a month away, several Trojans participated in the combine-style workout. It was a sweet homecoming for former USC cornerback and Jim Thorpe Award winner Adoree Jackson, who had another chance to impress scouts with his athleticism in his own backyard this morning at USC.
This might be the last time we all here together performing on this field, and it's our last practice we had here at the Rose Bowl. Before we came, we was out here practicing, so it's just a special moment to be with these guys and have fun. And a couple of the teammates that we played with are up there in the stands. The coaches were here, family and friends are out here, so it's just fun.
And joining Jackson was former USC receiver Juju Smith-Schuster. Smith-Schuster clocked a 4.54 40-yard dash at the NFL Combine last month and chose not to run again today, but he did show off his athleticism on the field in other different ways.
Well, today, it was a great day just to be home, with our boys, but, at the Combine it's a lot different. Today, for us, it was a lot better because now you're with all USC players, all the guys you've been playing with for 3 to 4 years, and now you have your family here. Even, some teammates, from SC here supporting. It was awesome, yeah.
Other notable Trojans at today's Pro Day included All-American lineman Zach Banner and Chad Wheeler. And receiver Isaac Whitney also made headlines after he clocked an impressive 4.41 in the 40-yard dash. With teammates and family in the stands, several Trojans were able to put together impressive showings at today's Pro Day. Now, we can only wait and see how today's performances affect the draft stock of these Trojan prospects. From the main floor, back to you, Julia.
Thanks, Angel. Social media was buzzing today around USC in reaction to Pro Day. Here are some of the most noteworthy posts. NFL prospects Zach Banner and Adoree Jackson took over the NFL's official Snapchat account so that they could follow their Pro Day journey. Banner recorded himself singing along to Diana Ross's I Will Survive on the account, while Jackson thanked fans and shouted out his personal Snapchat username. USC's Director of High School Relations, Gavin Morris, tweeted out this bittersweet photo of Adoree and Juju posing back-to-back with the caption, "We are going to miss you guys," and that we definitely will. USC Athletics shared this special photo on their Twitter of head coach Clay Helton and a special guest, former USC football coaching legend and current Seattle Seahawks head coach Pete Carroll. Carroll came back to scout the Trojans and also visit old friends. With Pro Day coming to a close, Trojan NFL prospects are another day closer to the draft, which starts on April 27th. While the prospects were looking good on Cromwell today, the prospects for the USC beach volleyball team are looking even better after its 5-0 sweep over LMU today. The two-time national champs were able to extend their winning streak to 42 matches today with help from junior partners Joe Kremer and Jenna Belton, who were named Pac-12 Pair of the Week last week.
Well, Jen and I really like to be that team that the rest of the team can count on. So we want our pair to always get that win, so the rest of our pairs sort of know oh, we've got a win in the book with 5, so they have a little bit of less pressure on them playing the tougher teams.
The women of Troy will be traveling east this weekend for the Gamecock Grand Slam tournament in South Carolina. Well, that winning streak is insane. Hopefully they can continue to win.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Julia. And it is World Water Day.
Find out how people are raising awareness about the need for clean water.
Listen to me. I am captain of the track team. And if I'm late,
She doesn't really think she's going to get out of here, does she?
be nice. She's new. Hello, is anyone there? Ugh!
Wow. Even from our standards, you look awful.
Oh, sweetie, what happened? Me? My friend Becky got to talk to this super cute boy, and I tried to act like I wasn't jealous, but I so totally was. And then out of nowhere, this concrete barrier just popped up. Maybe it was a semi. You mean you were driving? Yeah. I mean, I know the whole eyes on the road thing, but this was a super important text. Maybe you have to know, Becky.
Texting? Great.
But it was only 5 seconds, and I'm a really, really fast texter, so it wasn't even a big deal. Actually, has she texted me back yet? Wow, I get no bars in this place. I wonder if they have Wi-Fi here.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
It's a serious health risk that we don't talk about that much. More than 1 billion people around the world don't have access to clean drinking water. But UNICEF is trying to use a viral video challenge to bring awareness to the issue and to celebrate World Water Day. It's called the Bottle Flip Challenge, and it's trending online right now. UNICEF has picked up on the trend to help raise awareness about the water crisis around the world.
Starbucks has announced they want to fill 25,000 new jobs with military veterans and their families. To make that happen, they're going to create about 100 new military family stores across the country. Those are Starbucks stores operated almost entirely by service members, vets, and their relatives. It's part of the coffee company's expansion plan that will create more than 240,000 jobs by 2021. Now that makes me want to go to Starbucks even more than I already do.
I think it does with me as well. Very interesting report, good for our veterans. And of course, we'll have interesting weather coming up with gray and clouds.
We've got sun next week, so we should all be looking forward to that.
And rain in the weekend. All right, that sounds great. Well, thank you very much, and thank you for watching Annenberg TV News. From everyone at Annenberg Media, I'm Eytan Wallace.
And I'm Kaylee. Heck, you can watch us on the web at uscannenbergmedia.com. Good night.